Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Unboxed. I'm your host, Dr. Robert Davis. We're going to continue talking about the wonderful work that's going on right here in Denver and how you, where you are, can also begin to improve your community as we finish our conversation about reimagining policing and public safety and the impact that it can have on your community as it's having on the community here in Denver. Stick around as we unbox this wonderful subject. I'm Dr. Robert Davis, family life educator and relationship coach, and welcome to Unboxed, a frank and straightforward conversation about relationships. We're going to talk about family, church, workplace, and all other types of relationships. Join me for the next few moments as we unbox the power and potential of relationships and help you to live your best life. Hey everyone, welcome again to Unboxed. As I told you before, I'm your host, Dr. Robert Davis. Before we get started, please make sure that you like, subscribe, and share. Like, subscribe, and share, and check out our website so you can learn more about what we do, about our executive coaching, about our peer support groups for executives and leaders, and all the wonderful things that we do at Unboxed. All right, so yesterday I started telling you about the initiative that we have here in Denver to reimagine policing and public safety. And on the eve of the anniversary of the George Floyd murder, we released to the city 112 recommendations on how we can improve public safety and how we can truly make every city a safer place to live. But one of the things that we looked at was 5 strategies. So the 112 recommendations each help us to accomplish one of the 5 strategies. So let me put those 5 strategies up on the screen right now so you can take a look at them. Because we have to have a clear strategy on how we are, in fact, going to improve public safety. So the 5 strategies of this. Strategy number 1 is to empower the community. And what do we mean by that? We want to empower the community with resources. We already know why crime takes place, especially violent crime. We know the environment, the atmosphere that creates it. It's joblessness. It's a lack of quality education. That's why we call it the school to prison pipeline. It is a lack of other economic opportunities and resources that create survival crimes, which then give birth to violent crimes. And so if we begin to empower a community with the resources to adequately address the socioeconomic needs and to provide for their own public safety. The second one is to minimize unnecessary interaction of law enforcement and the criminal legal system with the community. The third one is to support successful community reentry of formerly incarcerated people and remove systemic barriers to reintegration. So you're seeing them right here. The fourth one that we have is heal the community from harm created by policing and the criminal legal system. And then the fifth one is expand the role of community in establishing meaningful independent oversight, improving accountability, training law enforcement, and creating public safety policy. And so as I shared before, those are the 5 ones. You can take them off the screen now. Those are the 5 strategies that we have developed. I want to put up the website if you want to learn more about the work and more about these recommendations, 112 recommendations. You go straight to this website, denvertaskforce.org, and you can download the full 53-page report with all the 112 recommendations, etc. Now, the reason that this is so important is because the idea is, how do we, and here's the big picture, 2 things. How do we minimize the interaction between police or law enforcement and the criminal courts with the community? We have over-policed so many communities. And I don't know what it is. It's almost like there's this addiction. And I'll be honest with you, we have a part to play in it as African Americans, because whenever things go wrong, whenever there are nuisances in our communities, young people start hanging on the street corners, windows get busted or whatever it may be, the first thing that we ask for, and I'm not talking about violent crime, I'm talking about some of these smaller offenses. The first thing that we as a community do is say, where are the police? When these kids are going around busting out windows and when they are stealing cars, where are all the police? And so many times, and it doesn't take a whole lot of prying to get them to do it, the natural response is, all right, you want more police? Here they come. And then, of course, that cycle starts. You start getting more police in low income, Black and brown communities. What ends up happening? Our teenage boys start getting pulled over for small, petty offenses because the whole traffic stops are just pretextual to try to drum up a reason to be able to search your car in the first place. But I can't talk about that too much today. But then we start that cycle. Then what do we have? We have an additional violence, police violence on the community. Then the community gets upset and starts saying, oh, man, look at this. It's wrong. No justice, no peace. We want the police to be held accountable. And then they pull back the police. Then we get this whole cycle going. So what we really do need to do is we need to get to the core of it. One of the things that President Lyndon Johnson said on June the 17th, 1967, in his presidential address, go and look it up. Lyndon Johnson said, we know the conditions that create crime and poverty. We know violent crime specifically. And he said, it's poverty. It's a lack of education. It's all these different factors that contribute, economic opportunities, et cetera. And he said, the question is, do we have the courage? I'm paraphrasing. Do we have the courage to address and to tackle these issues? And that's really the question that, each of us has to ask ourselves in our own communities, and not just about policing, but just in general, whether it's education, whether it is mentoring our young boys. Do we have the courage to do it? One of the things that I espouse is that we don't need one great leader to pull us out of the abyss. One of the things that we did, we lost 8 years. We lost 8 years from 2009 to 2016. We lost those years because we as a Black community stopped marching. We stopped pounding the pavement. I was offended, and I still think that President Obama was out of line when he said, stop complaining and start marching. I was offended because he didn't say that to any other community that was holding him accountable, for actions. He didn't say that to the LGBTQ community. He didn't say that to the Latino community or the Asian community, but he did say it to Blacks. He told us to stop complaining and start marching. But there was a hint of truth in that, and that is we have to take accountability and responsibility for our communities. And for some, that means being activists. For others, that means getting into the political and policy arena. For others, that means being mentors. For others, that means making economic investment in Black businesses, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. For others, it means adopting a school and saying, I'm going to, donate an hour or two a week just to go up to the school and to help out in whichever way I can to make sure the young Black children have what they need, whatever it is. But each of us have an obligation to say, I'm going to take responsibility for some aspect of empowering the Black community. This is so important. And I'm going to tell you why, and I'm going to close on this. This is so important. And this is why I feel so good about the 112 recommendations about where I believe the state of policing and public safety is going to ultimately go here in the city of Denver and around the nation. It feels good because check this out. It's not about one person. As I shared before, we put so much of our hopes in Dr. King, phenomenal leader, deserves all the accolades and the holidays that we can give him. We put all of our hopes in one leader, Malcolm X, et cetera, and then in President Obama. And then all they have to do is attack or neuter that one person, and then the whole movement then falls apart. Republicans blocked Obama and everything he wanted to do, and we just sat there frustrated and upset. But if each of us rolls up our sleeves, unless they just are prepared, and when I say they, I'm talking about the United States government that has perpetuated racist policies for the last 400 years. Unless the United States government is prepared to inflict mass genocide, if we all take a part of a responsibility to build up our Black community, to invest in our Black community, to invest in our people, they're going to have to kill all of us. And that's how you keep a movement going, where they can't just kill, just one of us and one and done, but that they have to kill every single one of us because we're all invested. We may not all believe the same thing. Some of us are Christians, some of us are not. but we all are invested in building up our community. That's what I want to encourage you to do. That's why I am so proud of this work. And that's why I want you to visit that website, denvertaskforce.org. I'm proud that UnBoxed was the project coordinator for this initiative. And I'm so excited and proud of all of the members of the task force who helped to bring this to pass. But I'm even more proud of you as you roll up your sleeves and say, I'm going to do my part, no matter how small it may appear, no matter how grand it may appear. I'm going to do my part to build up my community. If you do that, then we will truly unbox all the power and the potential of our people. Until the next time, have a great day.
Seasoned with Grace, Unboxed also provides healthy relationship training and leadership development for businesses, churches, and community organizations. For a free consultation to discuss your team's needs, please contact us at our website at swg-unboxed.org. That's swg-unboxed.org.